Okay, hello. Today I'm going to tell you how I met my husband. It's a really interesting story. Okay, so first, my husband's name is Dave. His name sign is this, a D on the mouth, for red, because he has red hair, and red freckles. Anyway, so I was born and raised here in Chicago. Dave was born and grew up in Ohio. He went to graduate school for speech pathology to teach deaf kids how to speak and how to be oral. So he graduated and moved to Chicago and accepted a job here. So I was working as an educational interpreter in middle school at that time. So he moved here and started working, and he had a really big head. He thought he was all that, and he thought his signing was beautiful, but we were like, all right, step back a little bit. You're not that important. Anyway, so at that time, I was married to another guy, and Dave, he had a fiance. Dave's fiance worked with us too. So she was a teacher's assistant at that time. Anyway, every month after we started work, we met as friends and we would just hang out, and we realized that Dave wasn't that bad. He was a nice guy. So anyway, all of our friends after work, every day we would go out to the bar, whatever, just hang out and socialize, go bowling, things like that. So Dave and I became good friends. And then in 2000, Dave and his fiance were planning to get married. And I was, of course, invited because we were friends. So with my husband at the time, we were going to go to the wedding. So they were getting married on New Year's Eve. So the night before the wedding, Dave and his whole family drove from Ohio We were setting up the reception hall and everything was getting decorated. So Dave asked his friends to help him. He said, "Do you mind coming to the reception hall beforehand?" I volunteered. I said, "Fine, sure." So my husband at the time was working at night, so he couldn't go. So he went home. So I thought, fine, I'll help. He's my friend, right? I'll help. So we showed up and started working. 5, 6 of us decorating everything. So his fiance at the time and her friends flew there for the wedding. They decided to go out and party the night before. So that left Dave working with his friends to decorate everything for the wedding. It was a bad idea to begin with. So their marriage lasted like 3 months. His fiance decided she didn't want to be married to him anymore, and she left. At the same time, my marriage was falling apart, and we decided to get a divorce. That all happened at the same time. So we were still friends, we still worked together, we still went out together after work and hung out with everybody. And we shared our relationship problems. We each let each other know about our relationships. So it was the summer of June 2002, and Gallaudet was hosting a Deaf Way conference for Deaf Way. So my coworkers decided that we wanted to go. It was myself, Dave, and other interpreters. So we flew and stayed for 1 week at Gallaudet. So that whole trip was really interesting because everything started to change. We went out every night and we danced and partied and socialized. And Dave and I started really being together often and flirting with each other. And I thought it was no big deal. He's drunk, whatever. But I realized when we came back for that month, he came up to me and said, "Do you want to go out?" I said, sure, who's going out? Is the group going? I assumed that the group was going. He said, no, just the two of us. I said, really? Dave said, yeah, I'd like to go out on a date with you. And I said, really, Dave, a date with me? I'm older than you. You really want to go out with me? He said, yes. I said, okay, fine. So we went out, I respected him, and I really started to like him too. So we went out, we fell in love, and our first kiss happened in July 2002. And the rest is history.